Warning: this article contains spoilers for Antiques Roadshow US. Antiques Roadshow US left a woman speechless and uneasy on her feet, thanks to the unexpectedly high valuation of an item given by her aunt. The PBS daytime show welcomed a pensioner who had brought in a small mobile created by none other than celebrated American sculptor Alexander Calder. My aunt and uncle were having a cocktail party and Calder was visiting friends of theirs who were invited to the party, so they took Calder along, the guest explained. And my aunt was very creative, and among other things, she had done a needlepoint pillow of one of Calder's works and he was astounded. He'd never seen one like that before and so she gave it to him. A couple of days later, somebody appeared at the doorway and he had given her this mobile as a thank you for the pillow. The guest had owned the mobile since 1985, and did have some slight restoration done to it the following year as some of the colors had begun to fade. Expert Chris Kennedy stated this would affect its value to a certain degree, but continued to comment on how it was likely constructed in the early 1940s, before his work became very iconic in the following decade. He said his art was usually made up of thin wire, either aluminium or an anodized weather-resistant material, and always liked the use of primary colors. So the fact one of the pieces on the guest's mobile was orange was thought to be a little unusual by some of the other Antiques Roadshow US appraisers. She added how the item had been given an approximate worth before in the late 1980s for at least $30,000, but Kennedy shared it had gained a little bit of value since then. He continued, "We worked on the values to somewhat of a consensus and it still needs to be validated. Based upon that, a fair auction value, the range is somewhere between $400,000 and $600,000. The guest asked him to repeat himself and upon hearing the staggering value a second time, she murmured, "I don't believe it," under her breath and had to hold onto the show's set for balance. Kennedy continued, "Right now, Alexander Calder's market is extremely hot and in a good retail setting. It would not be at all inconceivable that this very small, wonderful piece of art could probably break $1 million. He then joked, "Not bad for a pillow," with the guest responding, "My problem is, I've got one mobile and 2 children." Kennedy also pointed out, "I'm sure your husband who's watching off camera will be equally happy with the good news." Antiques Roadshow is available to watch on PBS.